exclusive information on the latest in the Diddy investigation. I have learned from sources that investigators have found several weapons inside his homes. Several. They also have found videos. It's been reported that Diddy has collected images of people in compromising situations at his residences. TMZ now obtained this video inside his home in Los Angeles after the raid by federal agents. It's reported that Diddy is the target of a sex trafficking investigation that comes after he was hit with a wave of civil lawsuits alleging sexual assault and trafficking. I've also learned exclusively that Diddy is in Miami. Authorities know exactly where he is. They've been in touch with his legal team. Sources tell me he's trying to avoid the paparazzi, and they're telling me he will not be arrested soon. Former NYPD Detective Derek Parker, known as the hip-hop cop, is joining me now with his thoughts on how this plays out. First, nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
So you know Diddy, right?
Yes.
In what way?
Back in the 90s, I was assigned to the NYPD. I was the hip-hop cop back then, so I had to assist in arresting him in several instances where there were some crimes committed.
What were those arrests for?
One was the Club New York shooting. He was with J-Lo at the time, and the other one was the Steve Stout assault that happened with MTV.
Right. Okay. So I have some exclusive information which you just heard. The fact, if it's true, that they found a lot of weapons at his homes, what do you think this could mean?
Well, what happens here is that the federal government started a case with him. Apparently the search warrant that had his houses in Miami and LA was pre-planned already. They knew they were going to do that. So they have a much bigger case. Right now with the guns, they're going to check them. They're going to trace them, see if they were used in any crimes. They're going to go over anything about cooperators that are cooperating with them. They're going to be talking to a lot of people about certain criminal acts that he might have committed, and then go from there.
And what about the videos?
Well, they're going to sift through those videos. They're going to look at them and then see if there's any criminality on those videos, and then they'll go from there.
So what do you think? I mean, it just seems like the house of cards might fall for Diddy right now.
It's not looking that great. Right now, I know that he has higher-powered attorneys, and right. With all these allegations that are coming out against him and against other people, a lot of people are starting to be very nervous about what's going on.
When you arrested Diddy back in the day, what kind of interaction did you have with him?
More professional. I mean, he knew who I was. I knew who he was. And whenever he got into trouble, it was like I was like his detective. So,
yeah.
You know, I always had to come to the precinct of whatever happened, and then to deal with him, to make sure that everything was good with the detectives there and then everything else going on.
We should mention that Diddy has denied any wrongdoing.
Right.
As of right now, he's saying he had nothing to do with anything. So.
Right now, it's just an investigation.
Right. But it seems like all of this came to light after his ex-girlfriend, Cassie, alleged that she was in a very abusive relationship with him.
That accelerated things. I mean, his settlement with her and all the criminal acts that she alleged have happened, and then other people started coming forward, so it was like a house of cards.
Yeah, and I think there are several people right now that are alleging that they were in allegedly compromising positions at Diddy's house,
yes,
being forced to do things that they didn't want to do.
There are a lot of things that are coming out right now, and what's going to happen is that the government's going to go through all of these things that they have uncovered, and they're going to see if there's any criminality. If any charges are to be brought, they will bring them later.
So let's talk about this, because I'm not like into the weeds of all this.
Okay.
But apparently TMZ is reporting that Suge Knight, who's in prison right now, right? And he's
in prison, yes, he's in jail. For he ran over an individual in Los Angeles and he committed a homicide. Okay.
So TMZ is reporting that Suge Knight has said to Diddy right now, your life is in danger.
Yes. Okay, what he's probably saying, I can't speak for what he's saying.
Yeah.
Because of everything that's going on right now, there's probably a lot of people that are upset about what's going on. And then, you know, even yesterday I started seeing things online where people are starting to make threats towards 50. And Diddy is starting to go back, and this is how it starts in hip-hop. It starts right on social media, and then it goes into the streets.
It does. You know, you don't hear about that too much. I mean, back in the day, yes, right? There was a lot of that.
Back in the days, you had disc records where people
Right.
would just do disc records, and one rapper would talk about the other rapper. Now they go to clubs and places, and this is where they meet, and then there's always collateral damage.
Okay, so there's also been talk. I didn't realize like there was this Camp Diddy. We're hearing that Usher, when he was a young man just starting in the business, he went to Diddy's house for an extended period of time. Even Justin Bieber was brought there. I think he was 15 years old. And now we're kind of looking at their interviews that they gave years ago about being at Diddy's house and what transpired. We're looking at it differently.
Well, they are, because they were young men at the time. So with all the sex trafficking allegations that are out right now, this is what everybody's looking at. They're looking at the past and the present.
So we're hearing that Diddy is not going to be arrested anytime soon. What do you think is going on in the meantime?
Well, the government is building their case. Apparently what they're doing is they're going through all the witnesses or cooperators that they have, all the evidence that they've uncovered, and they're going to see if there's any charges that are going to be brought up. But you'll see something happening very soon. This is not over.
I was about to say, and the Southern District of New York?
And that's one of the most prestigious districts. I just testified in the Eastern District about a month ago, so
right.
I know.
So you know these guys don't fool around?
No, they don't fool around at all.
Tarek Park.